Hi, I'm Cutis Patoot, an artist and graphic designer, and today's mission is to reverse engineer and recreate an album cover that I love. I think studies are a foundational part of getting better in any and every art form, and for graphic design and album art, this is one of the ways that looks. How I determine the covers that I do will be different every month. Some are predetermined in the way that I just love their art and I want to put my spin on it. Some are going to be up to the shuffle of my Spotify, which is going to be a real challenge. And some are like this. They're born directly out of my listening habits. I've had this album on repeat for a literal month. Today we're doing Blame My Ex by The Beaches. Quick band info, The Beaches consists of Jordan Miller, Kylie Miller, Leandra Earl, and Eliza Edmund McDaniel. They're a Canadian rock band, and Blame My Ex is their second studio album, credited as their first independent album, and it was released September 15th, 2023. I found them in December, and I literally haven't stopped listening to the album since. Usually when I love an album, I have it on for like a week or so. I pick my fave songs, I put them on repeat before mixing in more and more other stuff, but I literally cannot put this album down. It's on repeat. It's so hard to pick a favorite track, but if I have to, I'd say right now it's a tie between Cigarette and Everything is Boring, closely followed by Blame Brett. I know it's not the most complicated album art at first glance, but I am a big believer in strong foundations, and I think it's really cool. I loved the branding between the album and the singles. It really makes me want to have them all on my shelf, and that's what really caught my eye visually to want to do this cover to start us off with this year. Plus, what better way to start this series off than with a queer band whose music I'm genuinely obsessed with. Some specific branding details: the album photography is by Becca Hamill. Branding, and also credited with album art and graphic design, is the studio Old Friend at oldfriend.co. The album styling is by Shay Holt, and the album makeup and hair artist was Liv Tsai. These credits came from Lori Lee, part of the Beaches management. They totally nailed it. Everybody did such a fantastic job. I am so in love with this branding package. I'm obsessed. As for the shoot setup, I shot on my iPhone. It's an iPhone 11 Pro. The camera is cracked. The flash is cracked on both sides. Fantastic. It still gets pretty clear, but sometimes if the light hits it wrong, it gives you this very interesting flare effect, although I think I did a good job today making sure that didn't happen, and I edit in Procreate. I did change some details about the actual styling, because this is recreating, and I'm not trying to just copy them one-to-one as copy everybody's exact styling. I put my own styling on it using my own colors. Usually for me, I wear a lot of hints of lilac, fuck ton of neon yellow. I went with one bold black lip actually in it. And I think it was fun. I scripted the notes out beforehand for, which pose would have which look on it. You can see some of the selfies that I took between the shots as well. And I shot it in my bathroom. I grabbed a kitchen chair and I pushed it up against the really small bathroom door. I moved all the towels away and picked a spot with all right lighting, plain background. Specifically, I wanted it because the lighting in my bathroom is a little cool. The paint of the door is kind of cool, and it kind of looked like the not quite white, blue tint background that they had there, and I figured that would give me a better jumpstart. So I pulled out the top accessories and makeup beforehand, laid them all out, and went one by one. So that was the order of operations for the shoot. I cleaned up after that really quickly, pretty easy, got comfy, and I started editing. When looking closely at both the album cover, the singles, and the related promotional material, I figured out that at least I'm pretty sure the album cover is prints of those photos of the band members laid out over a white background or a white surface, and then either scanned or photographed. I think photographed. My medium today is entirely digital, but I will do my best to get the same effect. As you can see on the original album, it has no text on the cover, so I had no typography this time, especially because I'm only doing the covers of the albums, not the entire album art, the back of it as well. So I only needed, as far as external things go, I only needed to pull a parental advisory sticker, which I'm loving the Mike Wazowski moment, and I'm keeping that, in there. It's just, I'm sure, it has to go there. It has to go in the corner, but I thought it was funny. After editing my stuff down to size composition, the photos are on a white background, but the whole thing's really cool toned, so I chose a cool toned, almost white for that. The individual pictures themselves, I cut roughly to the same scale. when necessary, set to a cooler tone. Like I said, I was working with sunlight, the room light when needed, and like my iPhone's flash. When I zoomed in, I saw there was some light noise on the original cover of the album art and also on like a lot of the promotional material, so I'm putting that as like a finishing touch to the actual cover as well. And in the end, I also slapped this nice plastic texture on top for fun, and boom, she's ready to hit the shelves.